Mic check, mic check. You're tuned into the world's greatest podcast. No, I don't just say it because it sounds lit when I say it. No, I don't just say it because when I put it on a t-shirt, it's going to sell millions. I say it because I actually believe this is the world's realest, greatest podcast, talk ain't cheap podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. It's a Movie Clears Real Talk. I got a special guest with me. You know I don't introduce my guests. I don't think that's a vibe. I feel like you shortchange them, especially when your intro is fire. So I'm going to let my guest introduce himself. Go ahead, guest.
Khalil Shorter, also known as Taco, whatever you guys want to call me. Educator, a coach, a creative, a little bit of everything, but more so I just, try to do everything for the youth and try to build off that. But I'm glad I'm here. It's been a long time coming. I knew my guys, Jesus, it's been years, my guy.
So let's start there. I want to say the first time I remember meeting you during the Sweet 16 era, but I think it's way before then too, though. I think it was way before the Sweet 16 era, but I think we both really came up during the Sweet 16 era.
I think I was just thinking about it. That era was awesome because I like I said, I'm a teacher now, and these kids can't even go to Sweet 16s no more because there's so much beef going on. But when we were partying, it was beef, but all that got put to the side.
There's too many shorties.
Yeah, and it was we were traveling from Arlington to Park Hill to West Brighton just to turn up a party, and you didn't even know the person. They was like, "Yo, I need Cletus to stay at my party." You didn't even know half of the people. You just Cletus needed an invite. I don't even know you, but I'm at just 16 turning up. So that was an awesome time. But then you gain a lot of friends and you gain people mutual respect. Yo, he good people, he good vibes. It was nothing crazy. And if something did happen, it had nothing to do with the 16. It was some back neighborhood stuff. But long time coming, man. That was crazy.
I'm gonna keep it real, and I don't think people give you a lot of credit. You were one of the first people to introduce Jersey Club to Staten Island. That's a fact. That is a fact. So all these people out here sexy walking all night, they gotta give you credit for that because you was going to school in Jersey at the time.
Yeah. So just for the people that are listening, I'm from Staten Island, grew up here, born and raised here. I think my 7th or 8th grade year in middle school, my mom decided to move to Jersey. So my freshman and sophomore years, I didn't go to Peters. Everyone thought I went to Peters for 4 years. I didn't go to Peters. I went to school in Jersey. So that freshman and sophomore year, I was going to school in Jersey, St. Mary's. But I was still partying out here in Staten Island because I grew up out here. And Ojo, Kev, Roach, yourself, those were my close friends. So I kept in touch. So whatever I did in Jersey, I was all right, we go sexy walk, bring it back to the island, and it just got lit. So we used to turn it up. Then once y'all got hold of it, it was lit. But no one really knew that. I was traveling back and forth. I lived in Jersey. Then when I transferred to Peters, I was still living in Jersey. So I had to travel every day, which is a whole nother story. But yeah.
So let's talk about Peters. Peters is a very unique place. Why? All boys school, Staten Island, by the ferry, right by Curtis and McKee. What was Peters like for you at that time?
All right, so Peters for me, I grew up playing ball, and Peters is the pinnacle of basketball, on Staten Island. It's Curtis, McKee, Peters, Farrell, but if you want to play ball, you're going to one of those schools. It's just
well, right now it's Wagner, but
Wagner's killing.
Yes, sir.
I'm a coach, by the way, so I can't really
Yeah, you can't.
But so that's the pinnacle when I was growing up. Peters, blah blah blah. So I played ball with a lot of Peters kids and everything. So it was always all right, we want you to come to Peters, and I was playing ball and everything. So for me, Peters was just it was a home away from home because even though I transferred in, they took me in with open arms. All right, we already knew you was supposed to come here. You wasted 2 years. You should have been here. But it was a place where I can be myself, but also branch out, And I love Peters. To this day, I can. So right now I live in right around Peters in that area, Silver Lake area, and whenever I go out to the local bar or the local restaurant, he's "Oh, Khalil, maybe I'm from Peters. This meal's on me." So it's
fire.
So it's it's that type of thing where it's you're held to a standard when you're going there, But going there, I had to grow up a lot faster than other people, and when I say that, I mean I was 15 years old traveling from Jersey to Staten Island, and kids are grateful now they got the bridge you could walk across now, but when I was back in the time, you couldn't walk across it. So 15 years old, I was waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock, taking New Jersey Transit to Penn Station. Then from Penn Station, get to the Penn Station, get to the ferry. That's the one train all the way down. Then from the ferry to take the ferry over, and then from the ferry to Peters. So I was waking up at 4 a.m. doing that just to go to Peters, then gotta go to like practice. After that, practice is from like 6 to 8. Gotta find a way back home. Take the bus. Take the 40 all the way to the bridge. My mom picked me up, drive across the bridge, pick me up. So I had to grow up a lot faster than others. You get what I'm saying? So like that whole time was like a time for me to mature. I couldn't go out a lot. Like I made it possible, but I couldn't go out a lot. Like yo, after the game, yo, Khalil, we going out. I want to go out, but I got to travel home. I want to go out, but we got practice 8 a.m. and I got to get home. It takes me 4 hours. So, like, I had to grow up a lot faster than others. So, Peter's definitely put me in a perspective where, like, I had to mature and, like, be a man a lot earlier, which I'm grateful.
Is Peters racist? Because I remember a lot of the, any kind of Peters versus Curtis.
Yeah.
Or Peters versus McKee. That fan section is different.
Yeah, nah. So, that's like with any place where you have a predominantly white school, you're gonna get your racist people. So one thing I can say I remember, and I had to nip them in the bud real quick. Like people only gonna do what you allow them to do. So when I got there, I had to put my foot down type shit. Like yo, this ain't what y'all used to. And my man's Latrell, Isaiah, so we all went there.
Shout out Latrell.
Yeah, the black kids.
Glenn was there too.
Yeah, my son Glenn was there. So the black kids on the team, we held it down. But like, I wouldn't say like. Other schools on the island, like Farrell C, maybe a little bit more racist. Peters is like that cultural place. Long story short, we were in the huddle and like they're like, all right, let's go. All I hear is like, let's fuck these niggas up. I'm like, what? I'm like, nah. That's not what we're doing. But like, they apologize for it and everything like that. But you, you definitely get that. Like, all right. I could have been at a black school, but that's all love at the end of the day. But as long as they didn't cross that line, that line. No one ever crossed that line.
I feel like there's even a divide in white people in Staten Island between the North Shore white people and the South Shore white people.
That's a fact, yo. Like so, like when we went to Farrell, it was a different breed. Like even when I remember playing St. Joseph's by the Sea, and like we going out there, and I'm suiting up, and we played them on Martin Luther King Day. So me and Latrell walk in. No, me and Isaiah's walk in. He got it. He's my witness. And like we walk in, they like some white dude was like, "Oh, they let y'all play on your holiday?" I'm like, "Yo, what are we doing out here?" Like, so see, the whole South Shore is like different. Like, even when we play Tottenville, like I hate going out there.
Going to Tottenville.
Like I'm a coach now, and like I tell my kids, like, "Yo, we going out here. It's a business trip. We going out here. We going to play. Like we get there 30 minutes before. I'm not getting there an hour before we go to Tottenville because my kids, like I said, I coach and teach at Port Richmond High School. My kids don't need to be out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need to be out there in Timeville. That's just a subject for them, something to happen to them. So we go out there 30 minutes before. It's a business trip, in and out. Like, I make sure we drive them to those games. They ain't taking a bus out there. Like, they ain't taking that long 74. What is it, 74 that go
The 59 and the 74.
Yeah, it's a clip for that. So we make sure we get schools like St. Joseph's by the Sea and Farrell like that. I make sure, especially my kids, like who are Arlington kids, obviously, Harbor kids. We got some Port Richmond kids. They don't need to be out there long, so I make sure that they good when we go out there.
That's awesome because I remember when I used to play for Wagner, we had to go to St. Joseph by the Sea.
It was crazy.
Boy, and it's brick by the time we gotta go play them. It's cold that season.
Yeah, and like I said, like it just our type of kids being out there. It's just subject for like it's a bad formula, Like they don't need to be out there, subject to whatever's going on, and like you said, it's a divide. It's the North Shore white people, then it's like that South Shore different, like. I call them Jersey people. You damn near in Jersey by then.
Most definitely. And you played college.
Yeah, I went to Mount St. Vincent, played 4 years there. That was another place like that made me who I am because I went to a small like Catholic college. So I graduated with like 1,200 people in my senior year.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was small. So, but it allowed me to be who I was. You get what I'm saying? I didn't have to put on this facade, anything like you went to UB and like you a number at that point. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta find a way to make yourself stand out.
But you also went to a bigger school. You went to Wagner. Wagner got almost 2,000, like 2,500 kids.
Well, when I was there, we had 32.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know our graduating class was like 900 and
That's
change.
what I'm saying. So like I graduated with 120 at Peters. Then I graduated with 1,200 in college. So like that small setting is like for me, I get to like I knew almost everybody like that lived on campus. Like I knew who was a commuter, who wasn't a commuter. So if I see like a new joint, I'm like, oh yeah, it's on.
It's a movie, baby.
Yeah. So like, but like when I say that, it's like I was that's part of the reason why like I wasn't a number, and that was a big thing to me. Like when I picked my school, especially like the way I learn, like I need to be like I'm like a hands-on learner. So being in those big lecture halls, like I talk with my kids now, and like, oh, I want to go to John Jay, and like I help my kids go through the college process, and they're like. And I'm reading like John Jay or the bigger schools. You can go into like a lecture hall and it'd be like 500 people in the lecture hall. Like,
that's a fact.
Like how they taking attendance? They like you press a button and that's your attendance. Like that's crazy. Like so I wouldn't like I don't think I would excel in that. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying I need someone on top of me, but I like that smaller, intimate setting where I could learn. Like a lot of my classes had like 32 kids. I mean 32 students, if that. So that was big for me. So I commend you for being in a lecture hall with 500 people because that's different.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, and I think that's a great way to look at it. When I was at UB, it was cool. Like, but for example, I think I could have been a doctor.
Yeah.
If I would have went somewhere else.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Because chemistry with 500 people in it was not happening.
I get what you're saying. Fact.
What else? What other classes really bodied me? It was chemistry that got me out there early, and then I didn't take bio. That year, my first semester, they violated me. So understanding who you are is super important.
Credits, right? So you do bad on that.
It's clip, bro. My GPA was clip early.
Yes.
I had to really fight and claw out of it. I had to find myself, find what I like, find a way to get money, find a way to get a side hustle. Like I really had to go through the motions just to make things happen at UB. So trust me, I get you.
Yeah. So I tell my kids that now. Like even when you're picking a college, even when it comes to like education, ball, like go where like first thing should be your fit. Like wherever you fit in at. If you know you're a small town, like I wouldn't have said that UB. I would have been wilding out. Like I knew I would have been wilding out.
Yeah.
I'd have been like you can't tell me if I got 500 people in a classroom that if I don't show up, they're not gonna know. Like I would have took that and probably not go to class. So like I knew I had to be in like if I was missing in class or like a lecture, 32 kids, my professor would have been on me. Like you get what I'm saying? So like go where if you know you're a small town, small kid, go to a small school. If you think you can excel in a bigger school or you need to be around. Go to a bigger school. If you know you want to be around black people, like I push HBCUs. Like I didn't go to one, but I pushed those. Like I see a lot of our kids like I can't stand people. Like you need to be at like I can't stand white people. You need to be at HBCU. You need to be around more people like you. So find where like you're fit. You know, don't just go somewhere. Like I get it. Like cost is a lot. Cost should be like that's the main thing. But also like in the process of a course, like you made it work. You like we were just talking about it before. I don't know if we aren't air yet, but cost is gonna come and go. Like. You gotta hustle if it's meant to be, you know. Like you made your situation work. You like at UB, like I had to throw parties to pay, had to pay. Like you wasn't thinking that when you decided UB, right? You was just like, yo, UB's the school for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
So
go ahead.
So it's like you definitely gotta like take into account like your financial situation, but your fit should be the first thing. Like narrow your schools down to fit, then if financials is that big of an issue, like you got a scholarship. Like I remember. And I'm gonna let you speak out that. I remember like going through Instagram. You was pushing scholarships early before like while we was in school. Like you was telling us like, yo, bro, you felt the scholarship and like having a friend like that, like yourself, telling like other high school kids and like while we're in high school, like felt a scholarship is crazy because like, bro, you can get a scholarship for anything nowadays. And like I'm a teacher, like yo, they give out $2,500 scholarships for being a lefty. Like every kid that's a lefty, I'm telling them to fill it out, like anything. So like there's money out there, but like. Well, anything in the world, if you don't find out, they're not gonna tell you about it. You got to do your research. So, like, when you started your own and you found the Beyonce, like, who would have known us growing up? Like, Cletus would have had a Beyonce scholarship. You get what I'm saying? Like, but you did your research. You did what you had to do. So, like, it's just important. Like, the money is out there. You just got to go find it.
Most definitely. And talking about the bread, bro. How did you navigate? I mean, did you get a full scholarship when you went to play ball? Or
I got grants and stuff, but how I navigated, which was just like. I wasn't too far. I was like Yonkers, like right above Yonkers. So I wasn't too far. So I would come home, work like clinics and camps. But like everybody like knows now. Like I started DJing at the local bars. So like that's what I started doing. So it's like I picked that up, and that was just like $100, $120, $130 a night. And I was just like, what? I get to drink free. I get to like play music, and like that's when I started picking it up, starting to get a lot better at it, and then like I started doing it a lot more. So definitely DJing. So
speaking of DJing. Do you remember the 30-30 bounce?
Yo, was it 50-50 bounce?
50-50 bounce. Yeah. What y'all call that event? It was at the skate park.
Yeah, yo, that was like what year was that?
That was like 2012, 2013-ish.
I was still in college. Definitely 2012, 2011. Long story short, my friends like so back in the day I used to throw like man, I wouldn't say parties, like events. So I threw like tacos barbecue, and it wasn't even at my crib. It was at my man's crib. Helicopters came. It was crazy. So I was like, yo, everybody was like, yo, Ty, when you gonna throw another one? But like, I grew out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just grew out of like throwing parties. So I was like, I'm gonna do one more event. So like at this time, I was like transitioning. Like I was like done with the partying, but I was like wanted to do something different. So I seen the skate park on Staten Island. It just opened up. I'm like, yo, the space was crazy. Like, the space was huge. Like, so I'm like, yo, let's go in there and act like we throw a party in here. And they were like, yes, this, that. So I'm like, all right. Well, we didn't take into account. This is why I'm not a party planner. Like, we bought 2 speakers. Yo, the space had to be like, it's a skate park. So we bought 2 speakers. We told everyone and their mother to come. And it was a recipe.
It was a zoo.
It was bad.
It was a zoo.
If I could do that over, I would have done a lot better. I would have done, like, we did the Eventbrite. Yo, I lost, like, I had to lose like 3 bands off that party.
Wait, what? How'd you lose off that event?
So like Eventbrite takes, I know you probably know, Eventbrite takes their side. So like I had my friends help me. So once we split the bread, so like we made bread. Boom, we made the money. I paid them out. Boom. I didn't know Eventbrite takes their piece after. So after I split up the bread, I got hit with that. But then,
you didn't know that there was a difference between the net and gross fees.
Yeah. Long story short, Eventbrite takes bread. They take their bread. So I didn't know that. Boom. Then I hired security. They didn't do anything that night because obviously there was a fight, shots fired, long. Had to pay them. That was like $500 for 2 BS security guards. Boom. What I didn't know, the place had me on a contract. I just signed it. I didn't read it, being dumb. If anything happened, this, that, liable. Someone clogged the bathroom sink, had to pay that. Boom. So it was just bad overall. It was just bad. Cops came. I don't think the cops charged me, but like, I had to do like incinerating a riot type. It was bad, bro. So I lost some bread off that joint.
It was a movie.
It was not. It was a time, and my friends, we talk about it to this day. Like, throw another one. I'm like, I am never doing a party with you guys ever again. Like, I can't.
Bro, if y'all interested, I'll dead do one with y'all.
But like, so obviously I didn't go to UB, but like your joints was like detailed to the T. You get what I'm saying? Like, you had to, like, how premeditated were your parties?
A month.
That's what I'm saying. Like, your joint was like, if this happens, this is gonna happen. If this DJ cancels, I got this. Like, I brought 2 speakers to a warehouse, bro. Like, if you weren't at the, like, by the speakers, like, you weren't hearing it. And like, I had like vendors, like I had like local people who were like sold clothes, and they were like, yeah, it's cool, but you had us all the way in the corner. Like, it was just like, I just did everything like bad. So like, but when watching your parties, I'm like,
bro, you got mad time, and your DJing is fire, by the way.
yeah, I appreciate it. Like, I'm still getting better. Like, I help. I wouldn't say help out, but like, I watch a lot of people. So ABZ, he's this person.
Yeah.
Like, he helps me a lot. My boy Stape, Jam X Live, Jamari, he's good. Forbes is another person. Like, I just, like, when I go to parties, like, I just go by I'm like, yo, I can pull up, and I just like just learn mad stuff. So like, that's one of the things like I feel like I always want to get better at. Is just because it's like, it's a hobby. I feel like certain things is like, when people ask me like, yo, how much you charge for a party? I'm like, like, I don't know. Like, it's like one of those things. Like, I don't know if you ever realize, like, when something becomes a job, you'll start losing the passion for it. So I try to keep it as a hobby as much as I can. Like, I'll DJ like my friend stuff. When my friend's like, yo, I'm going out of town, you mind covering this gig for me? I'm like, all right, I like doing that, rather than like people coming to me and it's like, oh, I got a DJ. Like, once it's like that, I know, like, I'm not gonna want to do it no more.
And I feel that because I felt that way with parties for a while too.
Yeah, right. Like,
because of COVID fucked up the game.
Oh, I get what you're
messed
saying.
up the whole game. So trust me, I get it. But what I would say is, I always look at events and just look at like hobbies as like streams of income.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I also don't allow people to try to make it something. Like, I don't do anything I don't want to do.
It's a fact.
That's why I'm 99% of the time in a lot of the situations I'm in, or not doing as many events as I could, or just in general. Like, I try not to do anything that I don't want to do.
Yeah, I get
you know, because the moment that I feel like I'm doing something that I don't want to do, I'm not doing it at the most optimal level.
So in that case, how do you deal with like a party situation where like, you know, the bag is coming from it, but it's not like your ideal type of party you would throw?
Oh, that's a great question. So, for example, I'm working on a UB, Buff State, Damon, Canisius, Buff brunch, like a big Buffalo reunion brunch happening January 22nd. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie, but COVID, right? And all the things that's happening with COVID, people getting sick, and you know, so you know, if you look at, and then plus brunches are super expensive. Like when you look at brunches, like the profit margin, especially for the situation we have, is very slim. Like, it's not like I'm doing it because I'm about to make like 10 bands off of it. It's like a slim margin. So I have to be wanting to do it for something bigger than the bag.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like I haven't.
You never threw a brunch?
I've thrown a brunch before, and I lost on that brunch.
See what? And that's crazy. You going back to it?
And you know why? Because you can't take, like, you have to learn from the first time. Like at the end of the day, like with events, it's just anything. You're just trying to sharpen your tools. Like, you know, like I'm looking at life a lot more different these days. Like before, I used to look at life like, you know, you find something you do and you like it and you do it for the rest of your life. Right now, I'm looking at life a year at a time.
Got you.
So for me, it's like, okay, what kind of tools can I sharpen right now with the situation at hand? So going back to the brunch, I have a team, you know, so I'm doing it with somebody else that also has some kind of experience that also could really help out and alleviate. And the bar guarantee is a lot lower than the other one. The other one was also on New Year's Eve in Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah,
a lot of my people won't go to Midtown on New Year's Eve. They'll be in Brooklyn or something like that.
Fact,
so it's just now just being able to just try out the things that I didn't get to try out in a better situation.
Now, and I feel like I'm interviewing now, but like I'm just a question guy. Now that, so you figure COVID's been going on year 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you, in a sense of partying, it wasn't much partying. Obviously, when we were on strict lockdown, there was no partying. You feel like you need to sharpen up your skills, or it's like sharpen up. Like, feel like you lost it a bit, or like it's like that. It's like riding a bike once you get back.
So that's a great question. For me, at the time, like last year, the last 2 years, I didn't throw nothing.
I mean,
I didn't throw a lick, but there was people throwing parties. Like, bro, 1,200 people. Yes, bro. Yeah, I watched it, and people bred it up because, and I had to learn. I'm like, our situations are different. Their only source of livelihood are events.
Yeah, I get you.
So if they're not throwing events, how they gonna eat? With me, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back and go get my PhD.
Yeah, fact.
So I went and I started the PhD, probably the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, fair.
Just because I started the first year of the PhD is like the hardest year.
Yeah,
I say that a lot.
Yeah.
And I started online, moving around. And it was just a bad experience for me just because I didn't have a stable, I never felt like I had my footing.
Yeah, I get you. Fact.
So for me, what now, it's not so much, it's sharpening the tools, but just being able to get to a place of just doing things that's meaningful.
Yeah.
Like, I've come to the point that I know people want to go out. I know for the fact that I know people want to connect. I have a gift of bringing people together. I'm not even at the point that I want to bring like 500 to 1,000 people together like I used to.
Yeah.
Right now it's about like, yo, who do I want to see? Who wants to see each other? Who wants to connect? Who want to vibe? Because, bro, a lot of people not your friends like that.
Fact.
You know what I mean? If there's one thing I learned from COVID is like, really appreciate people that really appreciate you. And that's what this is about. It's like, really, the people who want to be there are going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people that don't want to be not going to be there. There's going to be people who are going to, talk about it. There's going to be people who say, like, why would you throw an event during COVID?
I mean, that's obviously like the main thing people are going to say, like, oh, you throw an event during COVID. But, like, you just closed that people throwing 1,200 during peak of COVID. So it's like,
it's just at this point, you got to just, people are going to want to go out.
Yeah.
And you want to do something that's just for the culture. Like, that's something I've always done.
Yeah.
If it's not for the culture, if it's not to take the culture to the next level, if it's not to add to it, I wouldn't do it.
So thinking now that you're back and everything, what like are you like done with Buff, or like you ever thought about moving there?
I can't move there right now. Now I like Buff in the summertime.
I mean, you doing brunches out there, shit. Like you gotta
No, it's out here. It's in Brooklyn.
Oh, I give it so. Oh, a lot of people from Brooklyn go. I get what you're saying.
So it's
that's smart. See, like I would never thought that. I thought you were throwing it for the locals up there.
Nah.
I get what you're saying. That's smart. See,
we gonna get there. We gonna get there though. I want to do more stuff in Buff because one of my friends said, basically, like, yo, Buff is your home too, bro. Like, don't forget that.
That's a fact.
And even when I was there, I'm not gonna say I didn't feel that way because I had a lot of love from the people in the city.
Yeah.
But like, you don't really recognize what your impact is until you leave.
Yo, I was telling people that, like, a lot of people started going to Buff after you, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you can say you the gatekeeper of Buff because, like, once you left Buff or once you started going to Buff, like, people started jacking Buff.
There's a lot of people there, bro. It was mixy.
People started jacking Buff. Like people were like, go to Buff, but they weren't jacking. Once you started jacking Buff, everybody, UB in a Instagram vibe. It's like, all right, it's a little. You made it cool to go there. You get what I'm saying? Like. And like you got to give people their flowers. Like you made Buff like dope to go to. Now kids is like, I go to Buff, it's lit. Like everybody was jacking UAlbany. That's a fact though.
Yeah. Definitely.
Everybody was jacking UA. So it was like, I go to UA. Or I go to Herc.
Yeah.
TC3. TC3. Like, bro, that was it when we was growing up. TC3, Herc, and UA.
And then also a lot of people was at Delaware State too.
DSU.
A lot of people was at Delaware State.
So like when you went to Buff, like you took that and just like you made it lit. You know what I'm saying? So like, gotta give you your flowers for that.
I appreciate you. I'll say with Buff, Joe, you know Staten Island niggas can survive anywhere, bro. I don't think people give Staten Island people credit, and I always say what makes Staten Island special, especially the people, is that you can never pinpoint where they're from.
It's a fact.
Like they're versatile, they're chameleons. They could be anybody from anywhere at any time. And I think the problem with Staten Island, or the thing that Staten Island has yet to realize, is how do we hone in on that power here in Staten Island?
And that's what, as a teacher, I see this every day. It's like we have so much. So let's just think about it. And this is how Staten Island is. We have 11 schools out here? Yeah, 11, 12 schools, right? It's so saturated when it comes to like sports and everything. We have 11 schools. So we're fighting for the same kids. So it's like people be like, yo, Staten Island sports suck. Well, duh, we're going to suck. Every kid is scattered out. So it's like we have 3 good kids at Curtis, 4 good kids at McKee, 2 good kids at Wagner, 1 kid at Port. So it's just like, but when you go upstate or when you go to these other schools, it's Sachem North, Sachem South. It's Rockland North, Rockland South. There's not that many schools. So it's like we have 11 schools. It's oversaturated. Everybody this, that. Then everything's so close. And like now it's just, which is just like dumb. Like these kids have beef when like they're all related.
They all related. They all live around the corner from each other. Like there's no way in my head they like we have ops. I'm like, how do you have ops? Everybody is 15 minutes from each other.
And like I said, I'm in the education system now, and I teach, and I'm like, when we were in school, we didn't want to be those old heads that be like, when I was younger, like, but now we were wilding, but we were not like wilding away. And
it wasn't everybody. Now it's everybody.
And like, and with COVID, everybody masked up now, so it makes it even worse. And like this drill scene, like I'm like starting to see New York become Chicago, what Chicago was like 6-7 years ago. Like that drill scene Chicago was on when people were just like getting hit and like people getting shot. Like sad to say, we had so many gun violence on Staten Island this last 2 years, but like it's starting to look like Chicago out here. Like Chicago, like I'm not saying like Chicago is the best place on earth, but like they passed that now, and like New York is just like trying to get on that. Like music and like the world, like, and I guess urban culture, or like the black community coincide. So like when we were all getting light, spreading positivity, New York was chill. Like it was still some beef, but like what brought us together was getting light, dancing, playing ball when we were growing up. Now it's drill music, ops, and guess what people doing? Killing each other and shooting and fighting. So it's like music and black community and black culture coincide. But it sucks to say, but it's like we're only gonna go as far as like these artists and these like influencers let us. Like this drill music's not really good right now. I'm guilty. I listen to the shit because the shit's fire. But
bro, I like New York. I ask my little youngins when they come into the store, I'm like, y'all like New York drill? They be like, yeah. I'm like, who y'all like? K Flock, D Thing. They're like, nah, we. They're like, nah, I don't like him because he beefing with some. I'm like, wait, it's really that deep?
Yo, it's deep, and like, and even like you know, I guess I hear it, but like even like the inner city, like Staten Island people, it's like, bro, y'all live 20 minutes from each other, and y'all actually collided. Like, you guys could be really good. Like I got a couple kids in my building. Like the kid La and Ishu La, like he's good. He's really good. I'm like so proud of him because like he does come to school. He does he does come to school. He does what he got to do. But like his music is progressing. And he's like picking up on the right people. So I'm like, if you just like allow yourself to like get a lot better, you can go so many far places. And that's just the thing. Like for you and myself, we were quote unquote always good in every hood because we didn't start no damn beef. Like, you get it. You were from the Harbor. If the Harbor and the West is beefing, you could go there and they be like, yo, Cletus is good. Like, he ain't on nothing. Like, Talk good. He ain't on nothing. Because, like, 1, basketball brought everyone together.
Facts. 2,
partying brought everyone together.
Facts.
3, if we all got it brought everyone together.
Facts.
Like, it was like, if you were on, like, you was a troublemaker, people knew who you were. But the non-troublemakers is like, yo, let them be.
And a lot of the dudes who was on like that beef stuff, they came with that energy everywhere. Like I remember we was at Sweet 16s and there'll be a vibe, but then all of a sudden a bunch of people pull up and the whole vibe would just switch and you just know like, all right, be on your P's and Q's. It's time to go.
It's time to go. But like you said, like it's bad now, and like Like being at Port, we get a lot of like Arlington Harbor kids, and like it's just like seeing them like, all right, these are the type, like that's part of the reason why I did want to go back. Like, when I became a teacher, I wanted to come back to Staten Island because I wanted to teach kids. Like at the time when I first started teaching, I was living in South Gates, so like I was living by myself in South Gates. Um, so like I wanted to teach the kids in my neighborhood, and I think that's a big thing when you get into education, because like a lot of these teachers come from the South Shore. They really
They're disconnected.
disconnect is like top one, but like their husband got construction companies. Realistically, they don't get benefits. Their husband say, "Go get a city job." So they get a city job with good benefits, aka teacher, and they just doing it for the pension and the benefits. They really don't care about the kids. So it's like you get these South Shore, and 90% of them are women, because like it's really hard to find male, especially black teachers now. But they come from the South Shore. They're disconnected. All they want to do is teach for they 5-6 hours and go back, hop on that expressway and go back to the South Shore. So my main thing was like teaching kids that I see every day. It's like giving someone to look up to, but someone that's tangible. Like kids, we always tell kids like, who's a good role model? Like LeBron, this is that, but like he's supposed to do that. He's LeBron. He's supposed to do that. It's like, all right, you're looking up to someone that's literally at the big park with you. You're looking up to someone that's literally at UTL with you. Your teacher is in ShopRite with you, and you're seeing him do things that like you can do, but it's not like this forsaken person like LeBron that's like a multimillionaire. Like, bro, I live around the corner from you. I live next door to you, like, but I'm outside. That's the main thing. I'm outside. Like, your teacher is outside. So like when they come in like, yo, this has happened the other day. I know, I was there. And that connect is like he actually cares because I'm outside. And like that's why I was like, bro, like a lot of you now, you come to Port, and when anyone can visit with the COVID restrictions, like you come to Port, I don't have a lunch because kids are just chilling in my room, just like talking too much, obviously. Like, yo, I did like talking too much, but like
Talking too much.
too much. But it's the thing of like they have a safe haven, because like they're not gonna tell it to that teacher who's on the South Shore that's just yesing them to death. And like relatability is the main thing. Like, yo, coach, you seen that happen the other day? Yeah, I seen that. Word. Now I could talk to them back. That relatability is the main thing. So anybody that want to get into education or thinking about it, like relatability and like like I, I'm trying to like find the right word.
Just actually be present and care.
Yeah, like being present. Like kids know when you don't care. That's the easiest thing. Like they know when you don't care. When we call it faking the funk. Like we know, like kids be like, you know how like when we were like, yo, like, you know how like you came home or you heard your friend say like, that teacher just don't like me. That is a real thing, bro. Like I used to I teach now, and like whenever you hear kids like say like, how'd you get a 60? That teacher just don't like me. That teacher just don't like me. And you'd be like, whatever. That is a real thing. Like teachers hold grudges. Like God forbid a kid walks into a class and says, mind you, we're dealing with 14 and 15-year-old kids who are obviously immature. They're going to do some dumb things. But as an adult and as an educator, you have to be forgiving. That's just like the main thing. Like, you gotta be forgiving. If I hold a grudge against every kid, I wouldn't. I'll hold a grudge to everybody in Port Richmond. So, God forbid a kid walks into your class and says like, blah, 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 trying to be funny, which every kid does because they're immature, and you hold a grudge against them, now you want to give them a 65 or not want to, oh, all right, listen, Jason, you don't get the notes today because you want to be a wise ass. Now that kid's back a whole day of notes. Then now you wonder why he got a 50 on the test. You get what I'm saying? So like that whole thing of teachers just not liking me is sometimes a thing, and like it comes down to it. So kids in general, teachers in general, they need to just like have that relatability. Once a kid trusts you, and go a long way. And you probably realize that like back when even like business, like dealing with like your parties and stuff, if you trusted a company or like a venue, it goes a long way rather than like being iffy. Like, I don't know how they funny with the money. Like, you get what I'm saying? So like when kids trust you, they'll start opening up to you. And Mr. Shorter, yo, this. Mr. Shorter, I'm having a hard time with math. You mind helping me? Because they don't trust you. They're not gonna come to you for that. They just like whatever. So I'm glad I'm in a place where I can help.
What made you want to become an educator?
I think it all happened when so I graduated college 2017. I'm bugging. Graduated high school 2017. That summer, me and my best friend, we went to Italy to play ball. So we did the ball trip. I was like, all right, I'm living life a little. I started working for the Riverdale Country School up there, prestigious Ivy League like prep school up there. So I was like coaching. Then it was like, listen, we need a sub. You want a sub teach up there? I was like, all right, just so I was sub teaching up there, and like I got kids who are like parents. This is before Teslas came out. Kids pulling up in Teslas. I'm like, what is that car parking itself? Like, this is 2017. Like, I don't know if Tesla was out, but it's the first time I've seen a Tesla. So, like, I'm sub teaching there, and like, I feel like I'm not relating to the kids or I'm not getting through to them. So I'm like, maybe teaching's not for me. So I stopped that. I get into like basketball. I get into like other stuff. So then, I started working. I got a phone call. I went like the business route. I got a phone call. It was like, are you still looking for a job? I'm like, not kind of job. It was like, listen, we got you ever thought about being a mentor? I was like, yeah. I was like, all right. So like they called me, you want to be a mentor? Literally like the next day I got a call saying like, yo, my close friend Brian, we call him Mud. He was the JV coach at Port. He's just like, yo, I need some help. Like, you mind come help? I'm like, hell yeah. Like, I'll help at Port. So now I'm doing the coaching at Port. Literally, they was like, oh, you want to be a mentor? We narrowed it down to a few schools. Port. I'm like, well, I coach there now. They're like, all right. So I was a mentor in Port before I was a teacher. I was a mentor there, basically like a guidance counselor, pretty much, like checking in on kids, making sure they're good, making sure like had a caseload of kids. And I was like, I wasn't that bad of a teacher a year ago. So like, what was the disconnect? So I sat down with one of my close friends. He was like, bro, you can connect with these kids. Like, you know what they're going through. And I'm not saying I'm the most hood kid in the world or I have like situations like some of these kids have, but like
if you live on Staten Island, it's just the politics of it. You
yeah.
just know.
So like that was the thing. Like I was relating to these kids. Like so once that happened, I'm coaching, and if you don't know, if you want to be a head coach, you got to be a teacher. It's a teacher job. So like Brian, Mud was like, yeah, I'm thinking about leaving. This, that. He just had a baby. He's like, would you want the job? I'm like, hell yeah, it is. Like, you gotta be a teacher. I was like, all right, cool. So it's this program called the Teaching Fellows. If anyone's interested into it, so basically it's like an accelerated. Trust me, it is hard. Like it's like teacher boot camp. You gotta give up your summer. But basically, I was explaining quick. It's like Teaching Fellows. So you start in January. You go through the process and everything, interview process. But from March when it starts until August, you're going to 8 a.m. You're teaching, going to college, and like taking classes from March to August. So by August, you're allowed to teach.
How much did this program cost?
It's like subsidized masters. So it's like whatever your master's is, they take like half of it off, but you don't pay out of pocket. They take it out of your check as you're going on. So like every check, I get like $160 removed, and it pays that. But if you're a teaching fellow, like I said, it's a lot. Like I was waking up at 8, not finishing classes until 9, damn near. So it's like I was doing summer school. After summer school, I had like it's called like SBS skill building sessions. After SBS, you have like an hour break, then you go into college sessions. So it was like 3 classes every day from like March to like August. But once you're done with the fellows, you're allowed to teach. So like August, I was allowed to teach, but got my certificate and everything. But the main thing about the fellows, like I said, it's cheaper. Obviously, you don't see it right away because like, not saying you make a lot of money, but like the starting salary is good. But like $160 out of your check for like X amount of your check, you really don't notice. You get what I'm saying? Another thing is like they pay half of your salary. So like when you're in education, every school's amount of a budget. That's why like if you notice like if a teacher is like in the building for a long time, they try to get him out of the budget. They try to get him out of the building because the more years you work as a teacher, the more money you make. So you figure, let's just say McKee had 17 teachers that's been in McKee for 40 years. That's $110,000 they make a year times 17. Like that's a lot on a school budget. So what they do for teaching fellows, they pay half of your salary. So my principal only pays half of my salary. So principals are more inclined to hire teaching fellows because they only paying half of what a real salary is. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another good program definitely get into because you'll get a lot higher quicker than someone who has to pay that full salary. So everything's numbers at this point. Like it's a lot of politics that goes into it.
I was gonna say, how do you navigate around the politics? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been a part of the DOE system, and when I got in,
Crazy.
it was like y'all racist.
Yo, one, it's who you know.
Yeah.
It's who you know. It's a lot of like you said, racist. Like it's if you know your people, you know your people. And like what I say, the best thing about DOE is like pick a school where you are comfortable, really, really comfortable at it. Because last thing you want to do is work for someone, aka a principal, that doesn't value you or doesn't like respect your type or kind or your race. So at Port, I love my principal, Mr. Greenfield. He also owns Burrito Bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like he's a good dude in the sense of like one what I notice about him, and it comes back to my small school behavior. He knows damn near every kid by name, and that's just because of him walking the halls. You know, like he walks the halls, like Ethan, go to class, and like the principal knows the name of kids, and like I've been to other schools, and like these principals don't know these kids like that, so he knows these kids, and like he does like a lot of things like for parent teacher conferences, he'll like he'll pay for a city bus, and he'll go through the neighborhoods and pick up the parents and bring them to Port. So like it took him a while to get it. He had like a lot of mentors, Tim Gannon and everything, but like he gets it. You get what I'm saying? So like that's the main thing. Like what I noticed is he knows the kids too. He had a lot of resources for new teachers, and that was a big thing for me. Like I wasn't thrown to the wolves. Like he put me with one of the best co-teachers I asked for. So my co-teacher is a black lady, Cherise Small. It's funny because like Mr. Small, Miss Small, Mr. Shorter. So like, but like she's awesome. Like yo, my class, like we got HBU stuff. Like my class is lit. Like so like when him partnering me with her, it made a lot of like it made I felt like I was a rookie on a veteran team. I had like LeBron on my team because like I was learning from someone who knew the game, who knew she was teaching me the ropes. Like, listen, this goes like this. These people only care about this, like this, that. So like him doing that, and like the third thing about him is just like he also knows like what it is to like improve a school, and which is like damn near impossible because it's like politics, like you said. Like everything. Like you ever watch The Wire?
I haven't watched The Wire, but I understand The Wire. I know my black card needs to get revoked.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot. So I haven't watched Insecure. I haven't watched nothing.
So basically, like, and the school education system, it freaking sucks because like you want to change it so bad, but it's like literally nothing. I hate saying nothing I can do, but like it's really hard. It's hard, but like you screw the numbers up. Like in The Wire, what they did for like the political stuff is like they cheated the numbers so someone gets elected, and like after that it's done. And that's literally what happens in the education system. So like COVID last year, guess what? Every school went from like a 60% graduation rate to a 90% graduation rate. You know why? Because COVID, they passed everyone. So that looks good on all these principals and all these people, and it's like, oh, this school is doing good. They had a 90% graduation rate. It's just like everything is just like numbers. Every kid has a price on their head. Every kid has a number on their head, and like you start to see it once you get in the education system, and it's so annoying. Like these kids are just numbers and dollar signs at this point.
So how do you navigate it? How do you make sure that you don't get caught up in it? Because I got caught up in it. I'm not gonna lie.
I make sure that my class is like my kids know it's like Wakanda in the building. Like once you step in my door, you're in a different dimension. I'm not worried about what's going on out there. My door is closed 90% of the time. Like when I'm teaching, my door is closed. Probably get in trouble for it, but I don't care. Like that outside stuff's not gonna happen in my class. But like, so I teach earth science, and computer science and forensic science. So like, but how I get around this, like, whatever that BS or like, you're not a number in here. Like you're gonna work. Like I'm calling parents weekly. Like, and it's funny because like I say like I'm so outside. I called this one parent. So I'm like parent teacher conference. Like I'm like, hello, this is Mr. Shorter. They're like, Khalil. I'm like, Mr. Shorter. They're like, Khalil. I'm like,
Bro,
I'm
what?
like, I'm like, what's up? They're like, Maria. I'm like,
Oh,
it's
what?
like, it's Maria. I'm like, oh, what up, Maria? They're like, you got my son? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you could beat his ass if you want to. So I'm like, and the kids in the background are like, you know Mr. Shorter? She's like, oh yeah, I know him. And she's like, yo, you got permission to put hands and feet on his ass. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna do all that, but like that relatability. Now that parent knows, like, she's sending her kid off to someone that she knows and that's gonna actually care for her kid. But what I say that, the reason why I say that is like these kids, when they go in my class, it's like a different dimension. Like You're gonna get your work done. We're gonna have our fun. I preach fun in my class all the time because school's just not a prison. And I'm gonna talk about that prison and school in another second. But like, yeah, like we move around. We got the way my desks are set up. I don't have kids in rows. Like I have them in like squares. Like, and my class is a lot of like lecture. Not I wouldn't say lecture, but like debate. So like, if if you say in my class you say 2 plus 2 is 5, obviously you're wrong. But if you can articulate to me why you think that in a way, I'm gonna say you're wrong. But why? Why do you think that? Oh, this is that. Elaborate. This is that. The sky is green. Obviously, it's not green. But if you can have an articulate and well thought answer, I'm going to listen to it. And if you can do a good job of convincing me, then good. But like, I'm not gonna just shut you down. There's no like right or wrong answer in my class when it comes to certain things. But like, I give kids the chance to like express themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something that's really big.
I'm not gonna lie, I really do want to teach.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the politics, I'm not a politician.
Nah, definitely. It's a lot. So I'm saying, like, you got to get into a building where they allow you to be you. Like, Port allows me to be me. And my principal, like, even when I do my observations, like, you get observed. Like, he know, like, I'll take an effective. I don't care. Like, I'll take it. Like, it's effective, ineffective, and highly effective. I'll take it ineffective. I'll take a development. But my kids are gonna get it the way they're gonna get it. Like my region scores are high because the way I teach it, they understand it. I am not teaching a region, the earth science region. This is igneous. This is metamorphic. Like these kids will feel it. One, the test is culturally biased off rip. Like the wording's crazy. Like half our kids, you say like, let's play the numbers game. They say, oh, this school X has 60% of the kids reading below high school level. So why the hell are you give them a Regents test every year that's obviously for higher reading levels? Like, what sense does that make?
Oh, why are you not trying to find a way to at least get them to a level where they can compete?
Exactly. So, politics, they have to do the Regents because guess what? They get money from the Regents. So, whatever. It's the state required, which is dumb. Regents are dumb because no other state requires it besides us. Like, if you don't go to school in New York, they don't look at your Regents. But it's a money grab. So, like, if you're saying that half of our kids don't read at a 12th grade, 11th, 10th grade level, why are you giving a test that's a 12th grade reading level test? You get what I'm saying? So, it's like, it's biased. A.k.a. the 60% of the kids that don't read at the level are black kids. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like, then you get this stigma of, like, our honest kids, aka our white kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, who's the honest kids? Who's the collegiate kids? Who's the gateway? Who's this, that? It's like, whatever. And what I meant to say about the prisons is like, and I don't know if you ever thought about this. All right, you ever been to a prison before?
It's a great question. No, I haven't, but we've
you've seen it on TV,
of course, right? The way this situated, a lot of the schools are the same way. Actually, have you ever been to Concord?
I haven't been to
Concord. So I was teaching at Concord for a while.
God, that's why you don't want to be a teacher.
Nah, I love. No, it's crazy. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing stuff with the with UAU. As a prevention specialist.
Okay.
And I was teaching in Concord, and Concord's kind of like has a lot of potential. All these schools that people say are horrible schools have mad potential.
About Concord, if you go to Concord, you can play for Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I try to get kids from there all the time. Yeah, but what I was going to say, and like, you walk into a prison system, first thing you do is go through metal detectors.
Mm-hmm.
Walk into school, first thing you go through.
Metal detectors, yeah.
Yep. You go through a prison, the windows are like caged up. Go to a school, caged up. Walk to a prison, you got COs walking the hallways. You go to the school, you got
deans and assistant principals.
And you got school safety also. You hear walkie-talkies throughout the whole building. You hear walkie-talkies in a prison. So it's like, you got beat up books in a prison. You got beat up books in all these schools. So it's like, are we prepping our kids to like, I want to say prepping them, but are we like foreshadowing like some of their futures? So it's just like, how do you not want them to go this way, but you're like literally like giving them the pathway to it, you know? So it's
you're programming them.
So it's just like, that's why like my classroom, like you're not sitting in rows in my classroom. Like, what is that doing? Like, you're seeing the back of someone's head. Someone talks, they got to turn around. So we sit in like, we call it like the seminar circles, and like we have conversations. Like that's how kids learn, is through conversations. They don't learn through like research and stuff like that. They learn through conversations.
No, I agree. So, what are your goals in the education system? Do you want to stay as a teacher for as long as you want, as you can, and get a bag? Do you want to become a principal one day?
Uh, right now they're prepping me to be a dean because
Okay.
I'm like black and like I know and like it would be smart for me to be a dean because like I know like what's going on in the neighborhood so I can prevent it before it comes to the building. So like they prep, but like deans is like you just go from teaching five classes to three. So like or you teach two classes, then you're like patrolling the halls. So they're prepping me to be a dean, but what I want to do is like I want to write or like make a curriculum to make computer science more culturally like diverse for black and brown students because like a lot of the wording and language in computer science is like also culturally biased. Not to say they do it on purpose, but it's just like it's high stuff. And if a kid's reading at a certain level but wants to code, it's gonna be really really hard for them. So like I want to write a curriculum that makes it a lot easier for black and brown students to get into coding because we have a great program at Port called PTech where kids graduate Port with associate's degree, which is like amazing because like you're graduating Puerto Rican with an associate's degree. Like that's that's awesome. So like you're getting rid of 2 years of tuition. You know what I'm saying? So like I want to make that program culturally diverse for like black and brown students. So that's one of my goals. I want to coach. Um, Definitely want to do that because I feel like that's a good way to keep kids motivated, keep them like into out of the streets. I'm coaching now, but I want to like enhance it. I don't think I want to be an admin. I don't. It's too much of you got to get into political stuff, and I'm not scoring no number. I'm not cheating no numbers just to make myself look good, because like if my so like once you're an admin, you got to make sure like you're the AP of science. You got to make sure all the science teachers are on point. So like if my people are not doing X Y Z, but the kids are learning, like I'm not about to like be on top of them. So I don't think I could be an admin for political reasons.
So, what is it like being a black teacher?
It's awesome. It's fulfilling. It's like to the white teachers like the kids don't like you. It's like yeah, like kids gravitate to people they know, and just like I'm not I'm not the one. I feel like it's just rewarding that they have someone that looks like them, that cares for them, and that can be that gateway to them to like help them with like college essays or help them with their math homework. Like I said, my door's like it's closed when I'm teaching, but it's always open to kids. Like, Mr. Shorter, can I sit in here and do this XYZ? I'm like, yeah, come through. So being a black teacher is just it's like it's fulfilling. It's really rewarding. It's one of the most rewarding jobs I think I've ever had, and I wouldn't really like change it for anything.
So, you want to know it's really funny? These last couple of months since I've been home, I've been trying to figure out what I want to do. And the two choices that always came into my mind is, do I want to do something for impact or do I want to do something for the bag?
Yeah, I mean, the bag, you can never forget about the bag.
Can't forget about the bag.
Ever. I feel like the bag is something that's always on the back of your mind. Teachers get paid. We get paid good money. I think we should get paid a lot more for what we. Okay, here's my thing, and I probably gonna get a lot of flack if teachers are listening to this. Teachers do take home a lot of work. That's because they're fucking lazy at home. I mean, at work. So you teach only 5 classes, but there's 8 periods in a day. So I teach 5. First period I teach. Second period I teach. Third is common prep time, aka like you just prep. So that's third period. Fourth period I teach. Fifth and sixth fifth I'm off for prep. So you have 2 preps, and I have lunch. Fifth and sixth. The seventh and eighth I teach. So that's 3 periods. So that's what 48. So you have like an hour, close to 2 hours of prep and lunch. What are you bringing home work for? What are you doing during that prep time? Like I don't personally eat lunch. Like I might have like a quick snack, but like I don't bring work home because I do my work at school. That's why we have prep time for it. So people are like, oh, I'm drowned in work. I'm grading. Like, why don't you grade during those 3 periods? Like, are you roaming the halls or you're on your phone texting? So like we do bring home a lot of work, but it's like that shit could get done at work if you like manage your time correctly. So like me, when I'm home, I'm chilling, playing Call of Duty. Like I'm on a game, I'm going coaching. Like I don't grade tests unless I really have to, or make a test at home because I do all that at school. So people just like don't know how to manage their time.
Would you leave Port if a better opportunity presented itself?
I mean, that comes down to bag at the end of the day.
Bro.
I love Port, but like the bag is where it's at. Like, I mean, my main like I want to get to the point where like I became a little travel whore ever since like COVID like lifted a little bit, and so I just got back from Vegas, so like I'm a big Gonzaga fan, whatever. So they don't really come to the East Coast or whatever. So the closest they came was Vegas. So I just booked a flight and went. You know, that's part of the perks of a teacher because you get off Friday, you good until Monday. So I took off that Friday, flew out to Vegas, watched them play, and came back Monday. But my main thing is like get to a point where like I could retire or like I wouldn't mind being a professor. I think that would be cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I love being a professor.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was probably the best experience. That what made me want to teach.
yeah. I would definitely be a professor. Like I don't know what I would teach, but
They don't got no bread. They don't really give no bread though.
I mean, unless you're like a doctor.
Bro, still.
Nah?
You make like 70 something. You don't really make a lot of bread being a professor. Yeah, you don't make bread like you make the money from research.
Oh yeah, I don't got time for
and
that.
I don't want to do no research.
That's why they give you sabbaticals and stuff to do
Exactly.
research. Oh yes.
Yeah, you don't really make the breach like that as a professor. Like I love teaching university. That's why I really want to teach high school. If I had to do anything, it would be high school or college. Mostly college because one, the environment is different. Like, bro, I'm lighting candles on the Zoom. I'm playing all the R&B. I knew about South African that Apiano music like years ago. Like because my students.
Yeah, that's fact.
And that's what I always want. Like I love teaching. I love being a part of like the youth because they keep you young. They keep you in tune.
Yo, that's how I know the drill music. They come out. I'm like, oh, he lit. I'll be at home like.
You be getting sturdy.
But yeah, I think. Well, like my main goal is like. One year I just want to take off and I just want to follow Gonzaga wherever they go. Not because like I'm a little groupie, but I just want to be able to travel. You get what I'm saying? Like they got a game in San Diego. I want to go to San Diego. Like I just want to do 1 year of just traveling because like the travel bug bit me and seeing new places. Like it's crazy. Like I feel like my passport is like one of the most valuable thing I own.
That's real.
Yeah, because like seeing new places is crazy. Like when I was in Italy, bro, that's like living out. I wouldn't say living out there, but staying out there for like how long we were out there for. It was like best time because like you see new things, it opens your eyes up. Like, yo, like, and we're not the type of people that like. So there's different type of people that just stay on Staten Island. We were traveling, bro. We was in the city.
I was outside, yeah.
We were outside, but like there's outside, and when you get outside, it's lit. Like outside is outside. Like you was at UB, then you went to Grambling. Like how was it Grambling?
Grambling's in Louisiana.
Oh damn.
I was in the. The only thing I will say I regretted about Grambling because I love Grambling because I was really like,
damn, that shit is deep.
It was far. I ain't gonna lie, it was deep, but I enjoyed myself. One thing I would say that I wish I would have done at Grambling that I really didn't do, and I don't know why I didn't. I missed 2 Mardi Gras.
Oh shit.
I missed 2 of them. Like and Mardi Gras like 3-4. It's like from driving from here to like Albany.
Now that I know it's down south, and I'm just thinking about it, you don't really know like certain things until like you're there. Like Southern hospitality is a thing. Like,
oh yeah,
you hear it.
We have no respect. Like I didn't know it. We had no respect.
You hear like Southern hospitality, but until you go down there, it is a thing.
Everybody, no matter who,
yes,
it could be your op.
No,
good morning,
man.
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. How you doing, sir? No, ma'am. I'm like, that's crazy,
bro. It's real.
That's crazy. But other than that, like what I would say, I think, and mind you, like I said, I'm a big music guy because I DJ, but like, I try to like live my life in chapters. So like, I was playing ball. It was like the ball is life chapter, whatever, and that was cool. But like, the chapter I'm in now is like, I'm a big Tyler Creator fan, and he has a song called like "Find Your Wings," and it's just like that's what I'm doing now. I'm just finding my wings, and like I'm just like living life. I wouldn't say I'm coasting, but like in the process of doing all these things, like DJing, teaching, coaching, I'm like finding more about myself. It's just like, oh shit, I'm actually a good mentor. Oh shit, I'm actually a good decent coach. Oh shit, like we made hoodies the other day, and I remember I dipped and dabbed into graphic design when I was in college because like I just took it. So I needed hoodies for my boys, and we needed new jerseys. So I'm like designing new jerseys. I'm like, holy shit, I still got it. Like, so I'm like finding my wings. Like, if I wanted to dip into graphic design, I can. If I want to get back into XYZ, I can. So it's like, I call the chapter like legit finding your wings, and I preach that to everyone. Like, your life is gonna be like ups and downs, but like, long as you're like finding yourself and like finding your wings, is just like that's all it's about. You know, like do whatever the fuck makes you happy at that point. Like, just do whatever makes you happy. If you feel like you're gonna like, I didn't want to be a teacher, but like at the time it made me happy. Like if you would have asked me freaking when we were getting like yo, you gonna be a teacher, I'd have been like, fuck out of here. Like, but like do whatever makes you happy. Like live life unapologetically, live it to the fullest, and like taking on life's colors as you're living. Other than that, I have fun, man.
I have a question from somebody in the live. Shout out to my bro Derek, co-founder of Bros Brothers Rising
Facts.
Over Stigmas, which I hope to bring to Staten Island really soon. Like really do that. But he said, as a teacher, how do you feel about financial literacy? Should it be taught at this age to the students?
Yo, definitely. So like, I don't know if you noticed, economics at a lot of like schools now. Like I feel like I learned about like kind of like I learned how to write a check in economics, and I think that's like the furthest we ever went. But it's I think it should be taught, but like I don't have a curriculum for it. You get what I'm saying? So like we have a curriculum. Like I can't say I won't say I can't, but like me teaching financial literacy and earth science is just no room for it. Like I will miss like a whole rock cycle period, which was mess me up like timing wise and like time sequence wise. But I think it should definitely economics class definitely should be back, and financial literacy is definitely something like you ask a kid about taxes, they're like, huh?
No, that's a fact. I'm still like, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Like. So like I said, like some kids don't know how to write a check. Some kids don't know how to know about taxes, mortgage, loans. So like that's something that definitely should come back around. Hopefully the new mayor, what's his name, Adams?
Eric Adams, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he could bring back. We have a new chancellor now for the DOE. Get a new chancellor.
He's the one that started the Eagle Academy. Yeah.
So like, I heard he's good people. I heard he's really good people. My co-teacher knows him, so hopefully he brings back like economics. I know he want to bring back like. Everyone thought he was just saying like Saturday school. He didn't mean that. It just meant like extra resources, not mandatory. So he wants like he knows that like these kids had a year off of doing nothing because realistically during that COVID year, kids were sleeping with their cameras off. So he's just offering that extra recovery services on Saturdays. But that's a great question. Financial literacy, it's out of our hands, but I think it should be taught. And like it's not really up to a science teacher or. I mean, is it up to a math teacher? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where we're really fitting at besides the economics class. Like, they really don't have that no more. They, like, exiled it out. I mean, a lot of schools are going the STEM route. They got rid of the economics, and every school is going, like, engineering or coding classes, which I get because, like, that's, like...
Tech is the future.
Tech is the future, but, like, still got to know about loans and mortgages and everything like that. Like, kids don't know how to fill out their FAFSA forms. I'm like, how are you supposed to go to college if you can't even fill out the FAFSA forms? Or, like, am I taking out a loan with APR? I'm like, wow, it's tough. And like, I didn't learn about it to my freshman year of college. So they could do that at 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. I think it'd be awesome.
Last question. How is it coaching? How are your players? And what do you hope to accomplish in the next couple years?
Coaching is like the same thing. It's rewarding. It's more so like I'm teaching life lessons. So it's like, I don't care. Like, I tell my kids all the time, I am not getting paid extra if I win 50 games, and I'm not getting paid less if I win 0 games. It's all about making sure that you guys leave here boys to men. Like, that's like a boys to men. Like, you're going to come in this program, and you're going to come in as an immature 13-year-old that thinks they know everything because, and mind you, what at Port, and I guess like many other schools, I don't get CYO kids.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. So like I'm getting kids that never really played organized basketball. So I'm starting from square one. You get what I'm saying? Like Peters, Curtis, they get CYO kids. So like
them kids already know the systems. They know how to play. They know. Yeah.
So like I can't. They want to practice. I'm not putting in an offense. They want to practice. I'm like, let's jump stop. Let's pump fake. Let's do this. Let's get the street. Like I love the street kids because they got that grit that no other school got. But I got to get them to the fundamentals of the game, which is boring as shit, but they need it.
If you need an extra coach, I know you got some great coaches on your staff.
Yeah, I remember you brought up. We was talking about your if any help with my big man, definitely. I don't have any big men now, but I got a freshman coming in, so I'll definitely hit you about that. But I got a good staff. I got Joshua Harris, he from Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
I got Lee Mitchell, he's with me too. They coach Jeremy Small, so I got a good staff. Moxon's in the building now, so I'm gonna probably put him on.
Man,
staff.
I was talking to Moxon about it. I'm like, Moxon, why you not coaching, man? He's like, man, I would, but I've been coaching for a long time, man. I think you should get Moxon's a problem.
No,
especially as a skills
what
coach.
Happened was Moxon was at a school in Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
He was a coach there, so I was like, he good, like But then in Port Richmond, there's D75, which is like the special needs, like in Port Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
So like they have a wing in our building. So I'm clocking into work and I see Moxon. I'm like, oh, what up? He's like, I work here now. I'm like, all right. So all the kids are like, yo, why you didn't put Moxon on staff? But at that time, it was like damn near October already when I seen him. So it was like if I had to put him on, it would have been like a process. And I pay my coaches. I don't know what other people. I pay my coaches like even out of my pocket with the bread I make and like the money we make from the fundraising and stuff. I pay my coaches because like I feel like time's the most valuable thing. Like you can't pay someone for their time. Like I don't know if he got a family. He got family, but like we don't got kids. But like you could be doing anything with your time. You're choosing to be here, so I pay my coaches. Like so. It would have been just mad extra stuff. So it wasn't like I was dubbing Mox. I just didn't know he was in the damn building. So when I chopped it up with him, I'm like, yo, why you don't let me know? He was like, he was going to get the job, but he didn't know some funny money shit happened. I was like, bro, you should have let me know. So I don't know if he wants to be a head coach, but like, he could join my staff. Like, so next year, if he's still in the building, he'd be on staff 100%.
Man, I see potential for Port. Does Port have a freshman team yet or no?
Oh, we're trying. So like, that's another thing. Like, we're trying to do that. Like, it's numbers wise though. So it's like Port is declining in numbers, and the hard thing about Port is it's 2,500 kids, and we have like a million sports, but like when basketball starts, football is like ending kind of type of thing. So like a lot of our athletes are still playing football, so our numbers are low. So like Timeville, they got 4,000 kids. Wagner, they got 3,000 kids. It's easy to find 12 basketball players, and 2,500 it's a little less than like. So it's like, and then zoning, there's no more zoning. So like.
Kids can go anywhere.
So like some of the best kids, which irks me to death, like kids I see every day, like the best kid in Arlington or in the Harbor last year, Tyree. He goes to McKee now. He's so good. I want him in my school so bad. Like, and I recruit. Like, I recruit. I'm outside. Like, whenever I got Port gear on, wherever I go, and like, I'm like, yo, where you going? Like, I'm outside. Like, all the kids follow me. Like, I'm like one of those coaches. Like, all the kids follow me. I comment on their stuff. Like, lit. Like, I give kids shirts and stuff like that. But that's what they need though. Like. When I was growing up, like I always seen Peters at like CYO game or the Hurricanes at Staten Island Boys games. You get what I'm saying? Like Curtis was at Staten Island Boys or Hurricanes games. Oh, I seen Gambo at so many Hurricane games because he knew I may get these kids in a few years, and like he's just like prepping them. So like if I can get a kid, I'm outside. Like I'm outside. I'm in Arlington hooping with them. Like I still hoop, so I'm outside hooping with them. So it's like if I can get them that accountability, like yo, I'll go to Port, back to Port because kids just start to shine away from Port. Like the best kids, like. For a kid to travel from Arlington or the Harbor to McKee every day is just mind blowing.
Okay, I feel that. How do we get more people in the building? How do we get more people to support the students? How could I help to support the students?
I mean, we have like when we just come out to a game, like that's all. Like kids, our games be lit. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
they be COVID testing to get into the building?
Not really.
I bet I'll be there.
No, you just gotta do a house screening, but it's just quite a questionnaire. But like our games be lit, and like I show love at all the games. Whoever comes, like alumni comes. I'm actually like trying to build up the Port alumni. So I'm reaching out to like John Myers and all of them that went there. Like, yo, we're gonna do like an alumni game, alumni page, cause like stuff like that's important. Like it's like it gotta get back to being a program. You know, like it's not just like a basketball team. It's a program. Like I'm legit building these kids up, and like this year we got like. So right now we have a kid playing for CSI. That's like one of the best like fulfilling moments because it's a D2 school. He's actually playing, and when like he starts, it goes from Port Richmond High School, Max Dillon Butler. Like that's big, y'all. Like doesn't say Curtis, doesn't say McKee, doesn't say Peters, and like not shitting on him. Port Richmond High School, like, and he was a good kid. He's an accounting major, so it's like that kid I'm so proud of because like, granted they're D2 now, but it's not the point. It's the point of like kids hearing that, and it's like. You know how many like CYO kids go to those CSI games and all they hear is from Farrell High School, Justin Zarius, like love Zarius to death. From St. Joseph's by the Sea, this kid from a school up in West Town, this that. But like the last kid, black kid, Afro from Portsmouth High School in Macdale, but like that means a lot. And like me being there, some parents are like, "How's Port?" I'm like, "Port's a good school." They're like, "I'm thinking about sending what's name there because you're there," but then like they don't obviously send them like fuck you, like send your kid here like they're like good. But like behave, like I tell people all the time, Port's a good school. Like it's not a lot of bad behaviors. It has a bad stigma because, and people don't realize this.
It's the past.
That and it's the only school in Staten Island besides Timeville that's linked to our neighborhood. So if you type in Port Richmond and someone got stabbed in Port Richmond, guess what's gonna come up?
The high school.
Exactly. So like if something happens by Curtis, it's not Curtis neighborhood. Like someone can get stabbed
In the new, and the Curtis is just sitting out by the ferry, my name business.
That's what I'm saying. So like if someone gets stabbed in Tompkinsville or by the ferry, it doesn't get linked to Curtis High School because that's its own town. So if there's an overdose or there's something happen in Port Richmond, it get links to Port Richmond High School. But like it's not a bad school. Like every school has its fights and we have our fights too, but it's generally not a bad school. I would admit if it's a bad school, it's not. But answer your question before we get out of here. My main goal as a coach is just to keep developing these young boys into men, and show them like the ball's gonna start bouncing at one point. It stopped bouncing for me, but there's more than life than once that ball starts bouncing. So like in the process of you playing ball, you're gonna figure out that you're a good leader, you're a good this, you're a good that, you're good that. Maybe you're not good at this, maybe you're not good at that. But like the ball's gonna start bouncing, and I'm prepping you for that. And mainly building habits, building habits, building habits, building habits. Being on time, aka being early, being disciplined, having that. Those are all like things you're gonna need in college. Like you can't. How I do it is like anything you want to do to a college professor or a college coach or you don't do it to me. So like you walk in 30 minutes late to practice, a college professor either gonna depending on the professor, either gonna kick you out or close the door. So I close the gym doors at that time. See you tomorrow. You curse this, that, or this, that. Bye bye. So like I'm just like, and I'm hard to play for. I tell kids that all the time. I'm hard to play for, but it's gonna be rewarding. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna get better, and that's the main thing. So like my motto is, every day we get better, and Port's gonna be the best at getting better. Pretty much.
I love it. I love it. If anybody wants to follow you, stay connected with you, where can they go to do so?
Yeah, simple. I only got one thing because I'm a teacher and I can't. Have
Ain't nobody you ain't trying to have everybody in your business.
Yeah, that's a fact. So it's Young Tac, YOUNGTA 3C, so TACCC. It's private because, like I said, I'm a teacher. I gotta block and have other kids. But other than that, yeah, reach out to me if anyone's looking to be a para or a teacher and you're just looking for any like advice. We always need paras and get you in that way. I went to get my COVID test the other day, and the person was like, and I was like, yeah, I'm a teacher. She's like, you're a teacher? Like, I'm actually about to become a para. I'm like, why are you going from a nurse to para? But whatever. She's like, actually, can you get me in your building? So she's gonna be working in Port the next few days. So like I said, if you ever need any advice or anything, if you have any brothers and sisters that live on Staten Island that's decent at basketball, send them my way. Other than that, keep listening to the podcast. Like I said, I don't know if we were on air, but I just drove back down from Boston. I was visiting some people, and I listened to the podcast from the newest episode to the earliest one. It was like a 5-hour drive, and you could see Cletus's like progression, but I did it the opposite way. So I was like, this guy fucking sucks now. But like, if you did it, obviously, like you did it the normal way, you started off and like your certain miscues and like your question ends, and like I don't know if you were prepping early, like you were just going like with the flow early, or you were like always prepping, but like your level of questioning got a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Thank you.
You were doing like segue questions, like, oh, by the way, like that shit matters when, because I listen to like drink camps and shit. So like, there's no like quiet time. You get
no dead air.
Yes,
no
I'm
dead
saying.
air.
So like your level of detail, and like as a coach, I'm big on detail. Like I love detail. So like when I say the corner, you go to the corner, not the elbow. Like I'm like huge on detail because details matter. Because when you're tired, and I tell you to go to the corner, and you can't do it when like you're focused. It's just like I said, playing for me is hard. But like your level to detail, it got a lot better because you knew that it's a craft that you love, so your level of detail got point. And I'm big on detail, so like I gladly appreciate that. So like keep listening, and if you guys did it the way I did, it was actually like fucking funny because like I literally went down. I went from like who was the top person?
Schwartz is.
Yeah, Schwartz. Yo, he's awesome. Holy shit, Schwartz is awesome. I was listening to that shit. I was like, holy shit.
Schwartz is crazy.
I hoop with Schwartz, and he wasn't even like that. So when he was talking about like his like what did he call it, like his rebellious moments, I was like, yeah, that's Schwartz for you. But like that shit was awesome. I think that was one of my favorites because like I hoop with this kid, and like he was nothing like that, and like now he's just like the way he articulates himself. That shit was crazy, yo. So
growth.
The joint with Nija was dope. That was dope. The one with Meech, that was dope. Pat Lax's was dope. Damn, it was another one I thought it was dope too. Fuck, it was early. It was like higher up.
Was it Zeros?
It might have been Zeros. It was a lot of them. That was dope.
Created. We have a couple. We have a good amount.
Did you have one you were talking about parties and some shit?
Oh, if there's a party flyer, she's there.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
My bro Derek was tuned in. He was paying attention. Yeah.
So like, I told I had 5 hours. I was just riding.
That's love, bro.
Yeah, I was listening to on the way up there. I listened to Drink Champs. That did the Kanye one. That shit was like 3 hours.
Listen to that when it first came out.
Yo, he was wilding that.
Bro, he's crazy.
So I listened to that, and I was like, home team. Like I'm big on supporting everybody, especially people I fuck with. So on the way down, I was listening to that. But not like I said, that Swartz, Nigel one. The short one, even with Sterling, was dope.
Don Dadas.
Yeah. I mean, my bad. I know him as Sterling, but
trust me, I know him as Sterling too.
That was dope. I think I favored the shit. What was it? Hold on, fuck. Let me look at it right now.
Nah, this is love, bro. I appreciate you. That's why I asked you to come through. It was a very random, spur of the moment. Like I said, I'm gonna start dating these. Today is December 30th. Tomorrow's the 31st.
The Coach Moxon was when I sent you the picture.
Yeah, you did tell me about Moxon's.
Oh, R.I.P. The one with Panda. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Wow.
Because I knew about the backward wall and everything, and that was a tough one, and that's something you got to cherish to your heart until God knows when. Because like him and himself, he was a important figure to the new up. He was like not to toot his horn or your horn, but he was like the new age you. You get what I'm saying? Like his energy was something crazy, and I didn't know him like crazy, but like I DJ'd a party and he didn't know me through a hole in the wall, but he tagged me like, "Yo, Tac, you had it lit." And
wow.
like, that's the last moment I had of I knew of him when he just like I still got the photo. He tagged me and he was like, "Yo, Tac, Pat Lax, ABZ, fire just that." And he was just showing me mad love, but I just knew him as like I was teaching whatever, like someone that was just always lit at the party. Someone like if Panda was there, it was lit. Or so like you having that, it's kind of like tenfold. You know what I mean? People say like, "Yo, shit turns tenfold," because like he's like the new age. What was RIP? Like the new age you. You get what I'm saying? Because like his energy was crazy, bro. Like dead ass, like a younger you, like crazy, like
product of Wagner High School.
Yeah.
And was in my gym class when he was like a young person. And that's why I never really went on air to talk about it. So we can talk about it. His passing really affected me.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for him, and I tell people like he's the one that introduced me to D-Melo. Like I know Rob and I know everybody else, but like he was the one that I was like, I'm trying to support you.
Yeah, no,
like
his energy was crazy.
I'm trying to support you. How can I support you? Okay, these are your artists. These are who you're working. I'm trying to support you.
Yeah, no, he had that energy. Like I said, it reminded me of you because like he had his own style, like you, bow ties. I know you didn't forget about that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? That box right there is the bow ties right there next to you.
Fact.
That box, that briefcase, all the bow ties, yeah.
So like, but reason why I say that is like he had his own style and like you had that like mentality of, like I don't give a fuck, and he had that like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna support the people I want to support, and I'm gonna do whatever makes me happy. And he had that shit too. So it's like that's just tenfold thinking about that shit because like y'all two were like parallel, but like. It obviously like means something, and that it affected you because y'all two were like the same type of person. Because I could see him like throwing parties and everything like that, but like hearing him talk on it, I was just like, I was driving, I was like, yo, yeah, this is like Lil Cletus, like, because like I could see you put him under the wing if he was still around, put him under the wing and him like maturing, because like. He was young, but he was like still figuring himself out, and he was maturing as it was happening. Like I didn't know him through Wagner, but I knew that he was definitely like for him to like have like artists at the age like that, he was figuring himself out. You get what I'm saying? So like, no one at that age is like, and to start that whole Demolo movement where it was like, them niggas had it lit one summer, bro. Like them niggas lit. Like, not the summer before COVID, like they was
outside, bro.
They was it. So for him to even have that movement, and you could tell by his past, he affected so many people. So RP to him, and like I said, if you can cherish that, because that's just tenfold. But back to Wagner, y'all had kids chanting, "We want Wi-Fi," so we gonna end up. We want Wi-Fi.
Man, no way. We gonna cut it there.
Yeah, fact.
Y'all know the fish. Y'all know the name. Thank you so much, Taco, for coming through.
Y'all.
I appreciate you. Hopefully, we get Wagner back to his former glory, but we gonna leave that alone for now. Y'all tuned into the world's greatest podcast. Talk ain't cheap, and like I say, it's not that deep. It's a vibe. Thanks again for coming, my bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Peace.